A lot of y'all said that this watch was fake when I tested it. So I went out and bought a real one with receipts. So now it's time to test the Moonswatch again. The strap really surprises me. I was not expecting 60 meters. Last time I tested this, it was this one specifically. I did a full test and everyone basically said it was a fake, and it could be because I did buy it from Facebook Marketplace thinking I would get a deal, and I guess I just paid for a fake watch. So just to make sure it's real this time, if anyone's confused, here's the box. Got it directly. Here's the receipt. Cut out like sensitive information, but mission to the moon. Paid just over $300 for this box, everything. So here it is, bioceramic, aka plastic, kind of this rubbery nylon band. Does actually seem a little bit different than that one, so I guess really that one was fake, but excited to go through the test. Hopefully it does better than the fake. As always, we're going to start off with a drop test. Last time the fake one, the battery cover popped off, but let's see what happens with this. First up, about 4 feet. Seems pretty good. We're gonna bump it up to about 5 feet. And then one last one for good measure at 6 feet. I don't think that really hit the crystal. That still didn't hit the crystal. Battery cap stayed on. Let's check it out. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. Battery cap stayed on. Nothing popped off. The crystal is slightly, it's more than slightly. It's scratched, dinged up right there. Kind of staying true to its heritage. It's going to be a domed crystal. Again, I never know what to call this, plastic. So there's nothing protecting it. So obviously that's going to take all the force. And it did definitely get dinged up right there. Let's see the watch actually work. Mainly, oh, it kind of caught right there. It could also just be the watch itself. I know these aren't the best made, but they are fun. I do have to say, every time I see one or I hold one, I'm like, it's pretty hard to resist, keeping one for the collection. But the chronograph works and time is still going. So let's move on to the mud test. Okay, now we're gonna get into the mud test at a little bit more water. This test is actually really interesting when you have a watch with buttons or a rotating bezel. Always hurts to see this because these are pretty nice watches sometimes. We're gonna put it in there, and there's some rocks in here too, so it kind of acts as a scratch test as well. Get the strap all muddy as well. So, like always, if you want to take this on the Tough Mudder, will it still work? Odds are, honestly, I don't know at this point. I get shocked every time. That did nothing in terms of cleaning it off. I'm gonna actually wash this off and see if we could still use those buttons on there. 1 second. The mud came off the strap really well, and it's still Velcros. So that's honestly pretty nice to see. Now, there's a lot of mud caked on to these buttons here. Watch is still running, so I guess the water didn't affect it yet. Moment of truth. Look at that, still working. Stop it, reset. Lined almost at the center. That's pretty nice to see. I just pressed this on, hold on, let's reset. Usually the spring bar is gonna snap in like a second. Kind of like that. That took a little bit of force, but that's what a normal spring bar's supposed to do. I tested a Casio. I think I'm going to be posting that one after this video, and that one, that was crazy. You'll have to see that one. It just did not break. So I guess you don't have to see it. I just told you. We'll leave the strap over for a second. On this other side, I don't have a lot of room to really grab onto it, so I'm going to actually get this strap back, and I'm going to use that for a little bit more grip. This should pop up easily. Not so easily. See, sometimes it really surprises me. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. That was crazy. I think that I actually cracked the plastic. That's why it was so hard. Okay, I did want to just point out that these are not normal spring bars. I literally had to break the case of the watch to get these spring bars out. And if, oh, did I drop? I did not drop it. Normally these spring bars bend, almost bend in half. This is a super robust, thick spring bar, and I didn't even bend it. I had to break the watch in order to get this thing off. That's impressive. That's insane. I'm gonna put the watch up. Now with these kind of bands, this is kind of, it's rubber nylon. I mean, you're never gonna break this. I've destroyed many stainless steel bracelets, but these, I mean, there's nothing I can really do. And I always ask to put suggestions down below if you think I make these tests better. Maybe a knife test. That's kind of making it unrealistic because these tests are so realistic. But I mean, I could twist this, do whatever I want. I could even try to break this plastic part off, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. That's solid. Really cool strap. Go on to the scratch test. Right now onto the scratch test. Just got a small rock here. And it's funny, it seems like the mud filled in those little gashes from the drop. It just looks more muddy than kind of scratched up now, but just very light pressure on the top over here. Oh, ooh, that is really scratching this. What the? That really scratched it. I mean, I can easily feel that with my nail. Whoa. I was not expecting that with this light of pressure. Normally, even with the non-glass, again, crystal, whatever you want to call it, these plastic, it usually doesn't scratch this easily with such light pressure. And sometimes when you wipe it off, it doesn't look as dramatic, but it's definitely there. And we just put a little bit more pressure. I'm not going to do it that hard. It's kind of like if I'm writing with a pen. Why does that actually look not as bad? Lighter pressure seems to do more damage somehow. It does not even look that bad when I did. Okay, it was like the angle of the rock. That's a deep scratch right there. Okay, there's some deeper scratches. That took a lot of force to get a scratch like that, but very interesting. That light pressure, we have a lot of these. I don't know if you can hear that. Nails kind of catching on there. That lighter pressure got these deeper scratches. More pressure, kind of like if I was writing down on a pad. It doesn't seem as pronounced. And then obviously if I go really hard pressure, it's gonna dig straight into that. And on the back, light pressure. Seems to be a little bit of scratching there. Can kind of wipe off, and then a little bit harder, or a lot of it harder. That's going to really take off more material, and that's going to leave a mark. Now we have the pressure test, and just a quick recap if you're new here. Basically, I put the watch in this sealed chamber with water. I'm going to pull this lever down, and it could increase the pressure. 1.1 MPa is approximately 10 meters. Now this watch says it's water resistant, and to my knowledge, that usually means 30 meters. And we've had watches here that said water resistant, and it went past 30 meters. So we're gonna go to the 30 meter mark. And remember the fake one, this one had water seep in at like 10 meters. So we're gonna go to 30 meters, see if it can go past there. We can tell that the watch is currently working. Hopefully it stays that way. Let's give this a shot. Now the water isn't completely at the line. I don't think that should affect anything. If anything, this actually may raise the water. Okay, we're right now at 10 meters. No leaks. Could be because the mud is really making that more of a seal. 20 meters. 30 meters. Okay. Okay. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I think this thing can maybe push to 60 meters. Let's try this. 40. 50. No way this is going. 60 meters. Look at that. No way. Rated to just water resistant after the drop, mud test, and scratch test. This thing is holding and keeping time at 60 meters. You can always teach me a lesson. I don't know if this is like a solid test because the line is not perfectly, the water is not perfectly at that red line, but it's fully submerged. And that's 0.6 MPa, which is about 60 meters. So that's impressive. I'm always impressed. That's really nice. There's our star of the show. Still ticking. And what? Oh, well, look at that. I guess the timer was going on the whole time. Let's see if we can reset it. I thought that was a second hand for something. I thought that was a second hand. I was very confused. I was not expecting that. When I bought this, I truthfully thought this was real. I spent like, I want to say 180, which is definitely cheaper than this. And so I thought I was getting a deal. They said it was used, but now seeing the test side by side and this one completely failing and this one still holding out, I guess, I mean, obviously we should all be buying real, but I guess this is a real testament to, even if they're both plastic, you're still getting more of a watch. I mean, this was impressive. I was not expecting any of this. Water pressure test, after seeing this one fail, this just went up to 60 meters. Not like you're ever gonna go that deep with this kind of watch, but you could if you wanted to. That was truly awesome. This was an awesome test, and honestly, thank you for pointing out that this was fake, because then I never would have went out, bought a real one, and tested it out for real. So always appreciate that, and that's why I say always leave a comment down below. Tell me how I can improve. Tell me what watch you want to see test next, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button. I really enjoy making these videos. Hope you enjoy watching them, and as always, stay safe out there.